And the financial pressure on Americans is not getting any better, despite repeated claims by Joe Biden and his team that they can point to low unemployment and higher wages. But in the end, when everything is costing 30, 40, or even 50% more, there isn't much refuge to be found in this economic storm for average folks. This year, the average electric bill is expected to be over $700 a month, an exponential increase from 2020's $550 per household. And even CNN is being forced to tell the truth about the cost of energy to average families. Here it is.
Well, many Americans may be getting hot under the collar when they open their electric bills this summer. The cost of keeping cool is expected to rise nearly 8% to $719 for the bills running June through September, according to the National Energy Assistance Directors Association. And some areas of the country, like the Pacific and the Mid-Atlantic and parts of the Midwest, may see even a higher increase, a higher share of increase. And that's up from $527 in 2019. The numbers have been rising steadily year to year. Utility prices skyrocketed in recent years, making it harder for people to keep up with both their cooling bills in the summer and their heating bills in the winter.
So with all of this in mind, the Democrats were counting on the Trump trial in Manhattan to deliver them from the evil of their own failed policies. They were counting on Trump getting convicted and voters saying they would no longer support his return to the White House. Then the verdicts came in. But instead of people fleeing the Trump campaign, as Democrats were counting on, they did something totally expected. Unexpected, that is. They sent every dollar they could. And almost a third of those giving money had never done so before. This was the Democrats' political canary dying in Donald Trump's gold mine. A gold mine that produced $53 million in the first 24 hours, $70 million over 48 hours, and an absolute eye-popping $141 million for the month of May to the RNC. Remarkable, really. What came was not ordinary by any measure. Instead, it was a flood of money to the Trump campaign, a surge of biblical proportions. And right now, we have some strong indications that not only did the Trump campaign make up a cash deficit with Joe Biden's team, they may have surpassed the Democrats in fundraising, and that sent a shock wave through the political power halls on the left, leaving them stunned and ready to break glass because this is now a political emergency of the first order. The verdicts came as expected. The reactions, however, did not. Nothing they try knocks Donald Trump down, and certainly nothing has knocked him out of the race. And by any metric, it appears he has grown stronger than ever. So the Democrats had to pivot, and fast. And the one issue that has rivaled the concerns over the sluggish economy and massive inflation since Joe Biden took office has been the biblical flood of humanity over our southern border, which brings me back to the top. By some estimates, 15 million people, many of whom have never been vetted, have poured in since Joe Biden was sworn in. Concerns with the open border and the crime that comes with it were certainly at the top of the list. And the biggest indication yet of the Democrats in full-blown panic came when it was announced that Joe Biden was going to sign this new executive order to massively limit those who could come into the country. That has now happened, as I said earlier. Biden signed the executive order to close the border, but only in part. This makes it clear that Biden and company know their whole prosecute Trump strategy has failed, and failed badly. They would not be going to an emergency strategy of executive orders on the border unless they had no other choice. Trust me on that. But with only 5 months left before the election, will it even make a difference?